Oh, like I said, great week, alive,
yeah,
living.
we
I was really excited about this Candace thing too. I thought it was.
Okay, so we can start by like what I thought was gonna happen going in, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I watched Andrew Wilson, I watched Candace. I thought initially, before seeing it and knowing what actually went down, I thought it was gonna be. I actually felt like Andrew was gonna give Candace a run for her money, just
Yeah.
from watching his older stuff, just from knowing how he is when he debates.
Yeah.
He's generally intelligent, quick-witted, abrasive, and harsh. You know, at times he could be a dickhead and asshole for sure. And I really thought he was going to come and try to trip Candace up on the emotional stuff because I know he does that with everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I thought Candace was going to not struggle, but I thought she was going to have to like hold her own.
Yeah.
So what did you think? Like what coming to it? But,
Going into it, I just didn't think. Once I knew the parameters, best friend, can you pull up the actual parameters of the debate, if you don't mind?
like all the rules
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
the rules. Because once I heard the rules, I kind of leaned a little closer into. I wasn't concerned for her at all.
Oh, okay.
Because it wasn't. Everybody's under the impression that she has to. Prove.
So you didn't know the parameters?
Wait. No, don't look it up. Don't look it up. Wait. Name the parameters. Name all the parameters
I'll name
right
the
now.
parameters. I know them. Do
Wait,
you know
no,
them?
just name one.
Do you know them?
I know them,
But
and
if
I
you
can
know
say
them,
them.
then you mention them.
You just name one.
No, but if I name one, I know them. You need to.
Just
That was
name-
so
just
fucking
name-
dumb. That was so dumb. We're gonna get to it. But once I knew the parameters weren't her trying to defend that Erica Kirk did it or Israel did it or something like that, I automatically felt like he wasn't going to have much room to stand on. Now, I will say that I don't think PBD was 100% necessary as a moderator, but I will say if Andrew Wilson really wanted to kind of be able to have more leverage to, I guess, get her, he probably would have wanted a different moderator.
Parameters. Are you asking
What
each side was arguing?
Yeah, what was there were rules and certain things, because at some point they weren't even supposed to be debating. They were just supposed to be exchanging information.
I was going to say, because I know that his side was supposed to be that there was overwhelming evidence to
That's it.
show. And
Yeah.
her side was like, she felt he was a patsy.
Yeah, Tyler didn't do it, and he's a patsy.
And there's not enough evidence to prove either side, but I do agree that, like I said, going into it, once I knew those were the standards of the argument, I kind of felt like he could not win. Then once you knew money was involved, she already won. Like
And he threw it up. It was he coming in. He's coming in as an underdog because he's throwing the money up.
Yeah.
Right. Candace didn't have to meet with him. She didn't have to talk to him. She didn't have to accept. But I felt like he threw the money as to entice her, incentivize her to say yes. And honestly, I think she would have did it for free.
Yeah,
Because she's more than knowledgeable. You don't think she would have did it
She
for free?
swore up and down she didn't know who he was, and I could believe that. You didn't believe that?
No, because she's in the same circle as whatever.
Nah, that's more red
Fresh
pill
and
shit.
Fit and all of
I
that.
don't think so.
He's running around all of those guys. So
I don't think so.
I think
he's
she could
friends.
say that because he threw the money up, right? But I don't know. I feel like there's no way she can't.
I went into it thinking I like Andrew Wilson. I like his debate tactics. I think his debate tactics work very well with other men. Because
And
men tend to
college
get emotional
females.
and evil. I don't even say it's college females because if you go back and watch some of those, I had to do a little bit of research before. He don't do well once you start getting personal, and he takes it there. Look, I've never been like an overly aggressive person, but that video where that woman said something about his wife,
Yeah, he blew up.
he blew the fuck up. But once again, I mean, standard, I guess. But long story short, like those young girls get underneath him, and plus whatever they're debating isn't as important. Then also I noticed that most of his other debates with like the black Israelites and shit like that, probably not as
Knowledgeable?
it's not that he's knowledgeable, it's just he has a better tactic at pigeonholing you as far as the argument than he actually does win the argument.
He's good at, I feel like he's good at, the topic most of the time doesn't even matter. He's good at debating as far as distracting you, hitting you with little quick semantic, like if you trip up a word, then he'll be like, you don't know what that means, or just define this word. Like things like that like take you out of your flow, right? Like if you're on a flow and you're debating, you're saying something, you trip up, then he's gonna pull you out of that, and he knows all the ways to do that.
Yeah.
Case in point, when he does the timer thing, or like do it real fast and try to count down. It's like, and then he he has this false authority of you gotta do it quick. And I hate that in debates too, when
Yeah.
everyone talking fast and trying to spit
ego.
shit out real quick, and it's like that's really not how you debate. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be.
Well, it's supposed to. I think it really is to get you off your rocker. One,
Yeah.
two. It's also I'm telling you. No one wants to be told what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, yo, hurry up. What are you doing? Get to it. Like,
Tell me the
you're-
answer. Tell me the answer quick.
So,
Da-da-da-da.
so as a person hearing that, you're like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Or if you're not strong enough in the mind, you might feel pressured to answer fast to show that you know it, or because your ego, you're like, oh, he wants me to do it fast. Pause. I'm going to say it fast, and then he would trip you up by you saying something wrong.
Wrong. And then
So-
now you're anchored to that because she had valid points. So we can roll into it. It was how many hours? 3 hours? 4?
Yeah, 3.
There are three
Three
some
solid
change.
hours.
And I was well entertained. I think at some point, starting from the beginning, I mean, I didn't want to say he just conceded, but you did send that video of him shaking and like twitching his feet and stuff like that, and it made me think too. This is probably his largest production event ever.
When it cut on and PBD said we're live, and then it cut to him, he already looked pale. And he's a white guy, but he already looked pale and shiny. He looked nervous, and I think he read his statement first, and he was reading off a phone. From that moment, I already knew he was out of his league.
Yeah.
Because his whole statement, he had to read off of a phone, right? And he mentioned some things in there, little jabs or whatever to Candace. Then when Candace did her opening statement, off the top, off the dome, cool, calm, collect, right?
I'm just
comfortable,
here. I'm here in
confident.
my basement.
This is right. It's a Tuesday for her. This is no sweat off her back, and she didn't need no phone. So right there, out the gate, immediately, it's already lopsided.
Yeah.
You're already looking like you out of your league, and then Candace is like, "What you got? Let's go."
Yeah, and also too, I think Candace had said it throughout the podcast, probably about halfway through, when she said that like I don't think you really care. That's when it sparked for me. She actually cares about what she's doing here, so there's
Very
effort.
much.
But
Very
there
much.
is something that shows because at some point, I won't even say that he conceded, but I do think at some point he lost interest. Like I'm getting nothing from this, and I think that
That's
once
what I
he
felt.
kind of got to that point, you could see that on him. And Candace is just still kind of eating you. Like, and then when Candace started dropping bomb after bomb, like there's certain things where she was saying, what did she say? She said, yeah, I think you don't care about this at all, and I think that you're running out of ideas, so now you're just trying to attack
Floundering.
anything.
Yeah, you're floundering.
I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, there
You
was
need
a
a
part,
cigarette too.
I was squealing, like
Yeah.
I was.
That
like,
that part specifically, which we do need to clip that in. That whole part where she said, yeah, you know what I think? I said, oh, no.
I was squealing when the charges thing, because he's so like she said, I think you don't even know the charges, right? The 7 charges, and she was like, she said she asked him, I know all 7. Can you just name one?
Yeah.
And you could tell he had a little panic because he was like, before that he was like, can we pull it up so I could go through and I tell you? And she was like, no, we're not going to go through. Do you even know the charges? So that he's been trying to put her on the spot the entire time up to this point.
couldn't.
And now she's on the offense saying, hey, you're here, you're debating me about this case. Do you even know the 7 charges? He didn't know. And he knew he didn't know. So when she challenged him and he's like, okay, I want me to name one, then he names murder, right? And she says it's wrong. And he's like, okay, whatever. So now you go. Now name one, I'll count. And he tried to get into that. Let me distract you. Let me put a time limit on this and do all those things. And it was just secondhand embarrassment.
It's a what do you call it?
That's the part I was squealing.
Distraction or just deflection because he had nothing there. But if I can just keep making her, and then also too throughout the whole video, the whole them trying to bring up clips. And none of the clips were like any referencing anything that like
nothing
she
hidden.
can say crazy shit all she wants on her podcast. I mean, we're not here for this.
And let's talk about the teams, right? So like off camera, they had a team of 3 people, right, who pull clips, pull documents or whatever, so they can talk and PBD could do it. Wilson's guys, that's like you said, they just had these clips geared up, ready to go, like they just want to pull them out, and then. There was a part where Candace's people, they didn't really show up for her because she was good. But the one time they did show up for her was the 7 charges, where she went through the 7 charges, and then right after that, PBD was like, your team wants to show, and then they pulled up the charges, and it was verbatim what she said, right? And then Wilson goes, hey, right before we came back, I saw you on your phone.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
Did someone text you that? Da, 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 da. And That's when you know he's losing. He's trying to get back on top. He's trying to get a gotcha moment.
dude. But
And
even,
she was like, "No, good. Here, look at my phone. Take the
and
phone. Look."
even if she did, you're wearing an earpiece.
They both had them
Yeah,
supposedly.
you're wearing the earpiece. You're being fed information. You're not even in sync with the videos they're trying to send you. Like they like when they said every time they would say, "Hey, we got your people got a clip." He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, put it up."
20
Like, no,
seconds.
you should have already known that this is what you're referencing
Yeah.
next.
So I know at that point he was just in his soul. He was like, "I should not be here. I cannot believe I agreed to do this."
I wonder how much of being out of his element in somebody else's house, not being able to do the things that he wants to do, not being able to smoke a
smoking.
cigarette,
Yeah.
not being able to drink a little bit, not being able to like. I wonder how much him having control over his environment probably would have helped him. But even then, it's like the topic itself. For people who aren't getting why we will scream to the heavens that she's right, is because she's just asking valid questions that if I'm doing an investigation, I'm going to want to know these answers. Now, these answers might have valid reasoning for it, but you're telling me that all these things that you have are conclusive, that it's this one person. Well, if she's adding this other information that's true, whether it's his vehicle, that the picture that they sent to show to the picture of the vehicle is not the same vehicle, the whole him eating the Chick-fil-A thing, like you're about to kill a nigga because you don't like trains, but you're going to eat at Chick-fil-A
There's
out of
so
all
many-
places.
yeah.
Like all these things. And once again, she could be 100% wrong. But the fact that everybody's losing their fucking mind by her asking genuine questions that would make me change my fucking mind.
Right. This is the same thing with COVID. Like when you question the narrative and the authority and the people that know, you get this vitriol from whoever these people are, bots, matrix agents, whatever they are. They have
Paid
to
influencers.
discredit you and make you seem like a crazy person, but they never address the actual question.
And nobody ever comes back to the people who are swearing up and down. And once again, I hate to throw some people under the bus, but there were a lot of influencers that were like, this is inconclusive. I saw this. This is it. And now, like, we should be really looking at them people crazy because it's like, wait, hold the fuck up. You told me you saw everything. You were there. And I'm not seeing what you're seeing. Explain that to me. Why is the French Foreign Legion in America?
Good question.
And not only that, the way that they tried to, like, that was another one that bothered me. If the French foreign, like, what is she supposed to do? If someone calls me tomorrow and says, hey, Pablo Escobar is going to try to kill you tomorrow, the only evidence I have is that this person told me and I believe them. And
she
even if
reported.
I don't want to not believe them and get killed by Pablo Escobar.
And she reported it to the authorities, you know, and then, you know, when he asked that, he was like, did you think your life was in danger or whatever? And she said, yes. And when I got this information,
That's why I reported it.
I reported it to, because usually when there's a false claim or a false report, the first question is, did you report it, right? Like a woman says, this guy raped me. First question is, did you report it? And if the answer is no, you tend to lean to, okay, it never happened, you're lying or whatever.
Yeah.
He couldn't do that to her because she did report it. She sent it to Tulsi Gabbard, Bongino,
DOJ.
FBI director, whatever. So she did all the things. You know, the other thing that pissed me off, and this was like in the first 20, 30 minutes of the debate, where they were talking about Tyler Robinson, the whole concept of him being a patsy, right, in the first place. Wilson's question was, how can you infer that Tyler Robinson is a patsy? Candace answered the question several times over, right? And but the thing was that was killing me is like, okay, are you listening to what she's saying, or are you just, you're there to not give any credence to anything she's saying and just to keep acting like she didn't answer the question, or you don't understand, or you just need to keep acting as if she's not answering because it helps your case.
Yeah.
If you
But
continue.
if you really come in here to look for the information like you say you are, you're willing to debunk it with your information, why not just...
So for instance, when he asked the question, how is Tyler Robinson a patsy? And this was just one item of a bullet item she has. This was about the fingerprints on the gun. Okay, the gun, his fingerprints were the most degraded. Yeah. And there were other fingerprints.
He had just used it.
And
it was his DNA.
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 Okay, so DNA, and there was other DNA on the gun that was more powerful or more recent or whatever, not less degraded.
Yeah.
So with just that information alone, with using logic and your brain, if his DNA is the most degraded and there are other DNA that is not from other people that live with him, around him, or whatever, it's just one bullet point of several that can lean to the fact that he might be a patsy and he's not the killer. Well, and then Andrew absolutely refused to just take that in and
I think they both were arguing two different points. I think he was arguing a point and she wasn't arguing. I think she's just stating the facts that she knows. because the same thing with the Idaho thing. Remember when they were talking about the Idaho law statute?
Yeah.
That basically was saying, like, these are the things we need to do to be able to convict somebody 100% as being the person who killed somebody.
Not hearsay, yeah.
And she's saying, okay, this is the list. He's arguing, what does that have to do with anything? But she's saying, no, if I am a human being, who she actually used to be a lawyer, if I'm a human being and I read those through and say, hey, these are the things you need to convict a person based off the information I have as a regular human being that are facts, Tyler Robinson isn't the only person that we can make a case on with this.
True. And you would think there'd be at least a few more suspects to investigate and to find out. But
Or Andrew, just to understand it. Like,
but where we are now, Tyler's the guy.
Yeah.
He's the suspect. No one else is. And there's all this plethora of other potential avenues and evidence and things that can mean maybe he wasn't the guy. He maybe was involved, or there was another shooter, or there's other conspiratorial things going on.
Anything else
but
to
we're
look up.
supposed to just ignore it.
why
and
did you
just
clean
go
up why did you pave over that place
so fast?
Like, why?
The next
Like,
day.
Why is it that there's no picture of the shot going off? Like, what are you talking about? He threw a gun off a fucking roof and dismantled it again. Like, there's just a lot of shit. Why did Benjamin Netanyahu in less than a day say I didn't kill the motherfucker? Who does that? Who?
3-4 times.
I have never killed a human being in my life. I've never had to
I don't believe
admit that to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hey, I didn't kill that guy.
Yeah. So overall, I think Wilson came in there. His goal was to, and he kept asking for, hard evidence or?
Oh yeah. Positive as
Yeah,
evidence.
he kept asking for positive evidence.
You'll never get
and
that.
She had a lot of ideas and evidence, and give it to Candace. She's an investigative journalist. She's on the ground talking to people.
Yeah.
She talked to the restaurant owner. She talked to the family. She's not. You got to give it to her as far as her being on the ground zero, talking directly to people involved in and around the case. She's not a reporter that works for CNN or Fox News and is just being told what to say. She's on the fucking ground. So she deserves respect in that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
you don't have
At
to
the very
agree.
least.
You don't have to agree. If you think Tyler Robinson, based off of what you saw, is that's fine. But you should be really weirded out that people think she's evil for doing this.
Yeah.
Like, out of all things that you would do, like, if you died tomorrow and I wanted to do a personal investigation, and I
flipping
don't
over
believe it,
everything.
and then next thing you know, I hear your wife like saying some shit like, Frank loved wearing those Redskin hats. When he died, he had that Redskin hat in his back pocket. And I swear, I'd be like, hold the fuck up. Frank ain't never worn no red. Hold up. I would look strange. Like, you would want to know. And maybe, Frank, your wife would have a reasoning for that. Maybe y'all got some weird sex
Maybe
play
she's
with
confusing me
Redskin
for
hats.
someone else. I don't know.
Yo, wow. But
But-
regardless, like, people are looking at it strange that
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk gets killed. His wife is given, like, his items back. Like, no, this is a murder
that's
investigation.
evidence. That's evidence. The phone, the paving over the area where he got shot. And we see these in conspiracy land. And I've been a conspiracy theorist most of my life. There's patterns of things you start to notice and see when we're not investigators, we're not detectives. We watch enough TV. You know, at a bare minimum, the minimum things that's supposed to be done to solve a case or whatever. It is what it is. You siphon off the case. We've seen, I don't know about you, but I've seen areas where someone gets murdered in the street and it's quarantined for like a week.
Shit, a car.
Or a house, right? It's quarantined for a week because they got to go in there and investigate. They got to take off dust for fingerprints. They got to do all these things. Same with 9/11. 9/11,
I had a junk car from 2010 to 2017 that was never picked up by the FBI. It was a part of a murder investigation. I had to keep it on my yard for like 7 years.
Right. Now imagine they took that car. Let's say it was a high-profile person that was involved with that. And the next day or 2 days, they take that car away and they put it back on the market and sell it or whatever. And that's what happened to this van, supposedly. This van is out there in the world, resold, whatever, painted or whatever the case is.
And if there was some sort of information about like a explosive device, which I don't think the explosive device, but if there's going to be some, that's where evidence would be. And I'm not saying that any of this is true, but if I am doing an investigation at the highest extent of the law with a very high profile person, nothing is moving until I am done looking. Cash Patel, what the fuck were you doing?
They're complicit. Whatever's going on, there is a
government narrative does not match what you're telling me.
There is a conspiratorial cloud around Charlie Kirk's murder. It is without fathom, very seemingly dark, and there seems to be a means to just push Tyler through as the lone wolf, as they normally do, get a conviction, put this case behind us, and this is how they do when it comes to these type of things where like something
open, shut, done, clean,
done. We're good. This is the story. Don't question nothing.
Hey,
don't bring no evidence. Don't talk to nobody.
Look at the text messages. He said vehicle 4 times to his gay lover. This is something else. He said that the love. Well, first off, the gay lover getting that type of immunity and being that close, that is crazy. You're talking about potentially somebody else that could have been involved in the murder, and you're telling me you gave him that much immunity?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, man. If you are talking about killing somebody, you're not. I don't think someone that goes through that type of planning does all that by himself.
Isn't that what's it called? Accomplice?
Yeah, accomplice. And then one of my friends, man, like I've shot rifles and stuff before, and I kind of thought it was strange. They say a lot of anything can happen with guns, but that is very unlikely that type of bullet doesn't just blow your fucking head off. And
I mean, once again, SEALs saying this. You know what I'm saying? People in war that kill people like that should know.
And Andrew Wilson, this is another thing that he kept, and I don't know why this has been coming up lately. He's a master at everything. Like he's a master gun cleaner. He was a master, what they call it?
Sniper?
Well, no, I don't say
His wife said that or something.
Yeah, and then he also said that he's a master, or he was in the Masonic Lodge, and he's like master this, and he's like a master debater, and like, all right, dude, I get it. Your dick is the biggest. It's no one's as bigger than yours, Andrew. But he lost the moment that they were begging the money, and I wonder whoever financed him. 2 things about the money. I wonder if he did this as some sort of investment. I'll give her $300,000. I'm guessing at bare minimum I'll get $300,000 based off the views of this. Maybe.
Well, his status, I think his status as a figure in the manosphere and as a debater and as an online figure definitely increased over these past few days.
Yeah.
More people know his name now than before. I can guarantee you that.
He had a job training or like a contracting job training like TPS USA's people for debates and stuff, which I'm probably sure is like a weekend thing for like the youth or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I don't see how they want to go back to him for anything. I mean, that was where a lot of his money would have came from. Because I don't see any. There's nobody else have a profile. The midterms are going to come up, and ain't nobody going to care about politics for the next couple months. Yeah. I don't see him having any steam unless he goes back to arguing with bitches.
Yeah. No, he may have to definitely do that because, again, coming into this, I like Candace and Andrew. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was going to be somewhat equal. After this, he lost some cool points with me because I just saw how disingenuous. And not to say he wasn't this before. He was an asshole before, and he was a narcissist before.
But he walked into TPS USA and came out a different person.
Yeah, but now watching him against Candace, who, in my opinion, Candace had utmost integrity. She was honest. She admitted her mistakes. Like when she said something wrong, and she already had corrected herself before they even try to show the video. Like she's not afraid to be vulnerable in that sense. Andrew on the other side,
gotta be right.
Gotta be right. Gotta try to get the gotchas. Won't admit he's wrong. His closing statement was fucking fairy tale. Like it was like he was in another fucking timeline where he actually won, and that's what he was talking about. Meanwhile, the whole time he was speaking, I'm like, bro, were you even there? Because none of that shit that you just said happened.
Yeah, and I don't believe any conviction he had about it. The moment that foot started tapping, dude, like you really start seeing like he's on his heels because he was on his heels for most of the debate, and I think he didn't recognize because she was not even arguing with him really. She was just kind of like, no, and he's like, well, you just made that up. So no, these are facts. Like the fact that car situation, that's big. The government showed us a completely different car than the car that man had.
Yeah.
You know, and she was able to prove it. And then people keep saying stuff like, there's no proof. I'm like,
it's the regurgitation of the same. So this is something I noticed, and I don't know if it's, this is what I mentioned. During the debate live, I was on Twitter tweeting. On Twitter, in real time, at least on my feed, I saw 90% of people agreeing with Candace that was winning. Mm-hmm. Andrew was losing, Candace was winning. Yeah. After it ended, and after it was like a few hours or whatever, you get online, get on Twitter, and now there's all this Andrew Wilson support and everybody saying Candace lost. And from my understanding, like in real time, you know, people are tweeting in real time. Yeah. Then after the fact, okay, now we got the bots and the farms and, you know, China, whoever. Yeah. Now they could go out there, send their minions to start persuading people. Move. I've seen a few people, prominent influencer pages, saying, here's what happened so you don't have to watch the debate. Basically telling people not to watch it.
And I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to tell you what happened so you don't have to watch it. And when you see that, That's that same shit the media's been doing, where they say,
Control, man.
"Don't look into this.
I got you.
Let me tell you what happened."
I
know?
got you. Don't you worry your pretty. You don't got 4 hours to do this. Don't you worry
Right.
your pretty little
don't,
head about
Don't
it.
watch this takedown of Andrew and this.
Or the points that need to be asked.
Right. Just here's what happened. Candace lost. She couldn't prove anything. Andrew destroyed her. That's it. And then you see people saying those things like, "Oh, well, I did," you know, and you don't know. I'm like, bro, you couldn't have watched that
You
shit.
couldn't watch it, and not only that, you're still holding on to your ideology as you're watching these clips, and these clips are made by somebody with a bias. I have a bias, so my clips are going to be somewhat, but I'm never going to tell you not to watch it
Yeah,
because I
no,
do think
ever.
it is fun. It is
Never.
fundamental, a good thing. And here's something else too. I want to make sure I say this before I finish. I don't care what type of black woman it is, ghetto, straight, gay,
Queer.
fat, ugly, pretty. Never argue with a black woman. I've been 41 for a little bit of time, for almost a year now, and one thing I tell you, that is, I never like arguing with a black woman. I don't. And watching
know.
Candace, this is all this stuff, and I said this to you before the podcast. For everything black people talk about this horrible that's happening to them, actually is happening to Candace. They demonetized her. They took her money. They took her banking.
Enemy of the state.
They took her her health. She was enemy of the state just for saying certain things that people disagreed with. You don't have to pay her attention. That would just be consequence enough. But then now she's even the devil. When
Evil.
black people say that black women are demonized or black people are treated away, it's actually happening to her, and you actually watch her be able to take down a white dude who's supporting a white woman who you guys hate so fucking much, and you will exile her, and
Right.
she is doing the thing. I want my daughter to argue like that.
Yes.
Because every time, remember when she was saying, "Oh, I'm not letting you talk to me like you're my father or anything."
Yeah.
She wasn't being rude or mean or anything, and there was nothing he could say because
She put him in his place a few times, a handful of times, where it's like, in the past, Andrew Wilson debates towards other people.
Oh, yeah.
They don't
Bulldozer.
combat him that way.
No.
Right. He'll do his authority thing, and they kind of somewhat capitulate or submit to whatever the fuck he got going on. Candace didn't do that.
Yeah.
She didn't do none of
She
that.
didn't have to.
When he tried to rush her, she was like, "No, there's no rush. You don't got to rush me. You don't got to do this thing." When he tried to like press her for an answer, I can answer how I want to. Don't tell me how to respond. Don't tell me how to answer.
And it was just left at that.
Yeah. Perfect. Another thing I'm saying too is, and I don't know where this is coming from, apparently if you agree with Candace that she won, you're a leftist or you're a liberal, you're a closet liberal Democrat now. And I'm seeing people say, okay, the conservative side with Andrew and the liberal side with Candace. I don't know where that's coming from. I feel like that's another matrix psychological trick to get people to be like, oh, I don't want to be looked at as a liberal. Okay, Andrew won. You know,
This is getting real stupid.
yeah, it's like
getting real stupid.
What are we doing here? And
Like,
then
it's not even political. Like, this is not even a political thing. Somebody died. The government said this is how these things happen. That's not how that looked and was told to me when it happened, and I was there,
Right.
and I have the internet to reference these things.
Yeah.
And now I'm wondering why you're lying to me about it. I'm wondering why these conversations that you're saying are going on.
Right.
You said that he turned his back on Israel. Wait, why is the president of Israel telling us he didn't? Wait, hold up. You said that he did this. You said that you had inconclusive evidence that him walking up the steps that don't look like him.
No, hell no.
I mean, okay, well, say it looks like him a little bit. I can't say 100% this him. I can't say
You
on
can't
that
convict
person's
him on
life.
that. Yeah.
Overwhelming evidence.
Overwhelming evidence.
Oh yes,
yeah,
positive evidence.
overwhelming positive evidence. But did you think any of the narrative changed for you, as like from your perspective of watching at the beginning, or
No,
you pretty much the same?
it didn't change. I thought it was going to be interesting. I again going into it, I thought Andrew was going to do better than he did. I thought he was actually, to be honest, I thought that he was going to convince me that maybe Tyler did it. Because in my mind, it's like he's a great debater. He gets his ideas across well. He does talk fast and he uses a lot of big words and he has all these nice ways to explain things. So I'm thinking, okay, Candace's going to have a run for her money. I might start thinking Tyler did it. And the other thing was he totally failed to explain how he's convinced Tyler did it, right?
Yeah.
And she brought
Instead of
up
being
that tweet that he posted with the bullet points, and she destroyed those bullet points. From
Is that the one we
tweet.
called her retarded? Called
No,
Eric Kirk
that
retarded?
was earlier when he responded to somebody on Twitter. They asked, "What are the 4 or 5 things that convince you it was Tyler?" And then he listed them, and then Candace destroyed them because it was like they're almost on the same level as her stuff, right?
Yeah.
Conjecture, it could be
Feelings.
it could be interpreted a certain way,
Vibes.
and even the prosecution is not a clear and cut case. There's no video. You can't tell it's Tyler. You know what I'm saying? Even their evidence that they bring into the state for whatever journal it's not conclusive.
Yeah.
There's no basically what I'm saying is there is reasonable doubt it was Tyler. It's not like what's it called, a slam dunk or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. It didn't change but so much of my narrative because, like I said, I think there's an actual legal case going on. So if either one of them had new breaking evidence for real, I think that's the reason why Candace doesn't go but so far, because she's going to fuck up the case, and she knows she would if she just dropped any of these sources and things like that. And then Andrew, like I said, I liked Andrew because of his background. I heard of him. I saw him in a whatever podcast. I liked it. Like, I have a friend that is that cold about certain things. And I like that he's like any man that stands his ground, especially if he's smoking cigarettes in 2026. I mean, fuck yeah. I miss smoking cigarettes, man. I miss smoking a Newport 100. Just fuck off. But yeah, like I said, I liked him. He came from a blue-collar background. He was a robotics mechanic. When I was young, I worked for a robotics company, and I was a robotics mechanic for a little bit, or regional maintenance manager for a company that had AI for robotics. But anyway, but hearing those stuff, it was really good seeing a blue-collar, because I know a lot of smart people who did not go to college. I know a lot of smart people who will never see a camera a day in their life, and watching someone like him. But I do think this was too big for his britches, honestly. It's going to be a good look for him if he can capitalize on it, him and his wife. But, I mean, as far as debating...
I think he can only capitalize with people that are on his team, that like him already. I don't think he got any new... I don't think he got any new...
Crowder was all...
If anything, he lost me as far as, like, in the future watching him. I'm going to always remember how Candace whooped his ass.
Yeah. Well, I mean, same thing. Don Lemon's still around. Remember, Don Lemon got his ass handed to him by Candace.
Oh, yeah.
God, man.
She tends to do that.
Well,
Why are people still thinking in 2026 you could debate Candace on anything?
nah, I don't think so. I don't think you have the time. And it's interesting. Once again, another thing I think I will always give Candace a shout out for. I love people who are intellectual, smart enough. And even with her, this didn't have to do with her being smart enough or anything. She hit it right on the head. I care about this. You were paid to do this. I care about this. You don't. And I think with that key, that is a very drastic way of looking at certain things. And once again, too, I will say this in Andrew's favor. Andrew was arguing different points than her. And I think that did not help. I think he goes in there trying to prove his point. She pretty much stopped debating at that point where she was like, yo, you're going to stop telling me to brush.
Yeah, and how to answer. Yeah. There was a portion where he wanted to, like, he kind of like try to be like her friend or like ask questions like, all right, these ain't gotchas. I'm not trying to get clickbait or sound bites. I just want to ask you some questions. And he was kind of like, just answer the question, da-da-da. And then he'll ask his question. It's loaded. Yeah. You could tell, it's loaded. And she didn't just play into that. And she just like, what are you doing? Like, you just said these aren't loaded questions.
And once again, I don't know. I like to see that email because they kept referencing the email of what their actual parameters were. I mean, it's not really all that important. But long story short, I mean, watch it. Very interesting. A part of me does feel like distraction for some reason. Like there's something out there that's important that we should have been looking at Friday. But regardless, I mean, I took it very well. I mean, you thought they was on her ass before. Remember, she didn't do that. She wanted to do that at her house because she does think someone's going to kill her. Think about that.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's brave to be out there talking that talk, going against the grain and the system, feeling like there's a hit on you, paying for security. You know what I'm saying?
Got your kids upstairs.
And
strangers in your house.
Pregnant.
And
fucking destroying.
Is she pregnant?
They keep saying she's pregnant.
Oh, she's pregnant. Man, that woman stay having babies, boy. That's what I'm talking about. America keeps having babies.
She actually mentioned it.
You did? Congrats, Candace.
We need more Candaces in the world.
More Candaces.
Keep on keeping on. You know what I'm saying?
Stand by your shit. If you believe your shit, believe your shit. Don't let the masses. Look, I can say this, and maybe I'll close this out for myself. I remember when they first were talking about Tyler Robinson stuff, and I heard Officer Tatum and everybody who went to the court here, and they were just like, hey, I remember seeing a video, like, this is inconclusive, this is this. And once again, I know they get better information and things than we do because it's court. But when I heard that, I remember them showing, like, the blurry videos and all this other shit, and I didn't watch Candace at all at this point, but I remember thinking, like, well, I guess they caught him. I mean, it is him. But when you go back and rethink about it, you're like, wait, all that is blurry 720
Reasonable doubt.
You know what I mean? Like
Reasonable doubt.
We're not trying to send someone to jail for the rest of their life off of vibes.
I mean, the government does.
Oh,
It
yeah.
has. There's Patsy